Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing this butterfly inspired eyeshadow look. We're going to be using the Colourpop Fade into Hue palette. So if you want to see how to do this, then please keep watching. To start off this look, I'm going to be priming my eyelids with some concealer. This one is the Pretty Fresh by Colourpop, and I'm going to apply that all over my eyelid. This is going to help cancel out any discoloration as well as help the shadows stick a little bit better. Next, I will be picking up this brush by Colourpop. This is the E27, and I'm going to be picking up the yellow shade called Abstract, and I'm going to apply that on the first fourth of my eyelid. So the process of applying these shadows is going to be super simple because we're not going to have to do too much blending. So I'm just going to pat it on there so it can stick to the concealer, as you can see here. I'll be picking up a little bit of shadow at a time and then just slowly building up that color. Next, I'll be picking up the shade called Art Deco on the same brush. All I did was wipe off a little bit of that yellow into a towel so that I can continue using the same brush. And I'm going to apply this color right next to the first shade that we applied. This brush isn't picking up that shade as well, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the shade called Love and Warhol, and I'm going to put that right next to, sort of on top of this orange shade. Now, if you want the pigment to be a little bit more vibrant, then I would suggest using your finger to apply the shadow or using a flat brush, and you can wet it just a little bit and apply it on your lid. Next, I'll be taking some of the shade called Paradise, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply it right on top of the edge of that orange that we applied, and I'm going to blend these two together. Next, I'll be taking some of the shade called Majestic, and I'm going to do the same thing and apply that right next to the red shade. And notice I'm not taking these shadows all the way up to my brow. I guess it's up to you how high you want to take them, but I'm going to leave them a little bit closer to my crease line. Here, I'm just going to apply a little bit more of Paradise just to darken it up slightly. For my lower lash line, I'm going to be using this brush by Colourpop. This is the E28. Now, normally I would keep the shades as close to my lash line as possible, but this one can be a little bit thicker since we are going to apply liner down here as well. Alright, so now that we have the base, let's move on to the wings. For liner, I'll be using the Glam Light Calligrapher eyeliner. I also have a discount code JADESTV, which you can use to save on their products. Now, for the wing, I'm basically going to start carving out the shape that I want it to be. This is a little bit hard to film because usually I will be really close up to the mirror, but I'm trying to keep you guys in the viewfinder as well so you can see what I'm doing. Now, my strokes aren't as clean, but we will clean that up later on. So don't worry about it being too perfect right now. Just go ahead and carve out that shape. And just remember, all butterflies are different. This is just a replica of the inspiration pic that I am going off of. Now, I'm going to fast forward some of this part. I'm going to leave it in though so you guys can see the process of what I am doing. And now that I've reached this point right here, I'm just going to go ahead and start thickening up this line. And here I'm just going to start filling in the little details of the wings. As I mentioned earlier, they do not have to be exact because, again, all butterflies are different. And right here, I'm just going to apply a thin layer of liner right above that lash line. And then I'm going to start working on the bottom portion of the wing. Now I went ahead and I thickened this line, but I am not liking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some concealer and I'm really going to thin that line out. So now I'm going to be taking my small e.l.f. concealer brush and some concealer, and I'm going to start carving this line out just to clean it up because I want it a little bit more narrow in the first half. As you can see here, it took a few swipes to really get this line as clean as I could. I also had to take my time to try to get it as precise as I could as well. And here I'm just blending out any of the excess concealer. And now for the top part, I'm going to do the same thing with the same technique and just slightly clean up the edges. Now let's go ahead and fill in with some white. We're going to be using the Urban Decay Razor Sharp White Liner. I'm just going to apply some dots all over the black band area. Next, I'll be applying some of these little rhinestones, and these are not self-adhesive, so I'm just going to use some lash glue to stick these on the edges. And for my waterline, I'm going to be applying some of the corresponding colors. This blue and the yellow that I'm going to be using are from Colourpop, which I will have in the description box. Next, I'll be applying some black mascara for the top lashes. This one is by Laura Mercier, the Caviar Volume. For the lower lashes, I'll be using the corresponding colors to the eyeshadow. These ones are BFF mascaras by Colourpop, and as you can see here, they aren't applying that great, only because I've had these for a while and I haven't used them, so they're a little bit dry, but obviously if you buy brand new ones, they will apply effortlessly. For lashes, I'll be using Amor Lashes by Golden Fix Cosmetics. And to highlight, I'll be using Space Baby Highlighter by Ofra Cosmetics. So this is the final look. I'm really obsessed on how it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You guys have a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.